Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early. You see, I still rock into the Christmas music, right? I'm definitely in the spirit. Good morning and welcome. My name is Mark Daniels.
Good morning, I'm Davriel Gardner.
And you're not just Davriel Gardner. You are Davriel Gardner, our new co-host here at Bahamas at Sunrise, dead early. So we want to say congratulations. Welcome officially.
Well, thank you. I'd like to thank my parents and the academy. Just kidding.
Yeah. Here's your award.
But thank you.
Yes, there you go, right?
It's a pleasure to be here.
What would you like to say to all of the people out there that brought you to this moment?
You like me?
Yeah.
You really like me?
Yes. We're so excited to have you join us on the show full time.
Yes.
Which means you can't escape us now.
No, Dad Early is part of my week now.
Dad Early is all you're going to be thinking about. You're going to hear the Bahamas at Sunrise theme in the morning when you wake up. You can hear G-Day and Terrence's voice in the background counting down, and you can be throwing it to Godfrey Burnside in the middle of your sleep. So welcome to the team. We're so excited to have you join us officially.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Good. So what is today? It's Monday.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
I actually had a great weekend. We're keeping the holiday flow going, family parties, catching up with people who were from out of town. And I actually went to a gospel concert last night. They had at Bahamas. They had Todd Delaney. So unfortunately, I was up a little late to be up that early, but it was definitely worth it. How about you?
Well, that's going to sound like you had fun. I spent the weekend binge watching World Cup as always. If you have been under a rock somewhere, the World Cup ended this weekend. Congratulations to Argentina on becoming the winners of the FIFA 2022 World Cup, the Qatar edition. It was like a drama. It was a movie. It was so back and forth. So you have to make sure to tune in to Hercude and I talk about it today. And then I also went to the farewell party for Eric Carey, former executive director of the Bahamas National Trust, celebrating his legacy. 15 years at the Bahamas National Trust, raised millions of dollars for the organizations, has expanded the protected area network by, I don't even know how to, what's the word? Exponentially, right? And
Leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds. So congratulations, Eric, being a conservation warrior for the Bahamas and looking forward to the next step in your career. So it was a good weekend. It was relaxing. I got some sleep.
Major key.
Sleep is great, right?
Sleep is great.
So here we are. We're having a great show today, and we're so excited. So we're talking about World Cup again today. We're going to have Hercude come in. You know, Argentina is his team, so we can hear him brag. And he wasn't even supposed to come today. We met him here in the lobby. So we're going to be talking to Hercude.
I was actually thrilled to see that Argentina won, because that was our conversation this past week. You know, I brushed up on my soccer knowledge, so I'm happy to see his team was successful.
He's coming to rub my face in the mud. But then it's also the time of year for Junkanoo, so we got Roots in the building, and they're here to talk about what it means to be returning to Bay this year, so we're ready for all of that and more. What else is coming up?
Absolutely. We also have Kyle Stubbs. He's back to tell us about which wines pair well with our holiday meals. And we'll have a lovely performance by Miss Maya Parker. But before we get into all of that, we'll have a check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Davriel. Congratulations. Welcome to this Bahamas at Sunrise family. In your first look at weather at sunrise, it's a little complex this morning. We have a cold front that's now over the central Bahamas, in the vicinity of Exuma, Kid Island, and San Salvador. High pressure behind that system, but that cold front will move backward starting late tonight into tomorrow morning. Off that system will form an area of low pressure late Tuesday night into Wednesday, and that's going to pass across the extreme northwest Bahamas, the Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini on Wednesday, bringing some showers, thunderstorm, gusty winds. Those winds could gust up to gale force on Wednesday. It will move out quickly, and then by Friday, a second cold front comes in, and I have a gift for you. Those temperatures will be dropping into the 50s. Today, we look at a mix of sun and clouds, but breezy, with a few showers, mainly across the central Bahamas. Your high temperature reaching 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy, a bit breezy on the mild side. A chance of a nighttime shower, particularly with the central Bahamas. Your low going down to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 87 and 71. In Jamaica, 86 and 73. In Trinidad, 90 and 70. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 83 and 69. Across North America, Atlanta, 53 and 35. In Boston, 41 and 30. In Miami, 77 and 67. Dallas, Texas, 6139. And Toronto, Canada, we have 36 and 27. As you go the week, like I indicated, that front, that's presently over the central Bahamas, moves northward. An area of low pressure coming to the Gulf of Mexico will move across the extreme northwest Bahamas, bringing showers and thunderstorms. So showers heavy at times, thunderstorms severe at times. Also, gusty winds will be up gale force on Wednesday, early Wednesday morning. Should move out quickly. And then a second cool front move through on Friday, and that will bring in some cool temperatures. So for the most part, we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. Mostly cloudy to overcast on Wednesday with showers and thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. The other islands, we look at a mix of sun and clouds and chance of a shower. And then by the weekend, we're looking at cold front moving through, and those temperatures at daytime will be probably in the upper 60s, lower 70s daytime, and the low to mid 50s at nighttime. That puts you up your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. It's the holiday season, and what better way to celebrate than with wine? Here to explain to us which wines pair best with Christmas dinner and which ones make the finest gifts is Kyle Stubbs, wine manager and sommelier at Bristol Wines. Good morning, Kyle, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. I'm familiar with us doing a nice taping and saying it's 11 o'clock somewhere, so it's an awesome time to drink wine. But it's like 6:45, and I think it doesn't get better than that to talk about to drink wine. But it's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Why not? We'll have a morning glass to celebrate. All right, so you look like you have a beautiful spread here today. Tell us a little bit about what you brought with you.
So a combination of things. We're heading into the holiday season, and I don't want to single out Christmas versus New Year's. We kind of lump them together, right? This is pretty much our first Christmas after what we've experienced the last 2 years, and so it's going to be a celebration. There's an opportunity to give thanks, and there's throw your full emotion behind us being on the outside, like we've been saying. So it's a combination of things. What do we celebrate with? Sparkling wines or champagnes?
Absolutely.
What's new at Bristol Wines and Spirits? And then what's fantastic at the dinner table that sits extremely well with turkey, ham, barbecue ribs, pork, fish. That's going to show up on Christmas Day.
Okay.
So I started off. So all of these are brand new to Bristol's this year. Some within 2 to 3 days. Some within 2 to 3 months, and this one here on the left has been here for about
fresh off the press.
Fresh. And these two Prosecco's here literally just landed last week, Wednesday. So we are a part of the first case of wine that landed here on island. And then here, and I love your comment off air, these look so nice and expensive.
They do.
The thing that Bristol's did this season is to make certain that we understand we're in the middle of I don't want to say recession, but we're experiencing some astronomical high prices. So we went and we shopped to find things that make sense. I'm a wine professional, but I still shop at $35 price points.
Hello.
Right? And so in front of us is a $45 champagne.
What?
Yes, La
I've
Hoste.
never heard of a $45 champagne.
Right, and so again, there's a little story behind it. These champagnes that we call grower champagne, or they come in at an inexpensive price point, is the same person who owns the vineyard, is the same person who's making the wine, is the same person who's bottling and shipping. So they're controlling their price, they're controlling their quality. There's a little bit more love and attention that goes into it. They're not into the big business of wine per se. So they make things like La Hoste, $45 champagne. They make champagne very attractive. So in this holiday season, I figured $45 champagne should end up on everyone's Christmas table kind of thing.
It's
right?
definitely one of those holiday seasons.
Right, so that's La Hoste Brut, right? And then we move into Ayala. So we brought this one in because we've been having some champagne crisis, right? Whether it's been weather, whether it's been low yield in crop, and all of those affect prices and availability. So a name that everybody is familiar with is Bollinger, right? And so Bollinger actually purchased this property right on the side of them. And this allowed us to bring in more Bollinger-esque champagne without running into a problem of here's the only amount of champagne you can have from Bollinger for this holiday season. So Ayala comes in at a slightly lower price point than Bollinger, and this you can get retailing at Bristol's at $79,
That's
right?
still a very good deal.
So if we think about the champagnes that we always drink, we're accustomed to spending $125, $130, $150. And it's like, no, we don't have to break the bank to celebrate and to be appreciative of what this holiday season is going to bring for us.
Yes,
right?
it's not that. That's not the vibe this Christmas.
No, not at all, right? And then these two fantastic babies here. Everybody drinks Josh. Everybody knows Josh, right? We have the Josh Cab, the Merlot, the Red Blend, Sauvignon Blanc, the Chardonnay, and we figured out, why not get into the bubbly plate? the Prosecco and the Rosé. Prosecco's been around for a few years in the Josh portfolio, but like I said, these just landed on Thursday past. Opened the first 2 cases, and I said, Bahamas at Sunrise. Yeah, I must show folks, hey, here's the new Prosecco in the market.
You've seen it here first.
You have indeed, and then this has been my favorite and my baby all year, Chateau Saint Michelle Cold Creek. Everybody drinks the Riesling, everybody drinks the Rosé, but this is just a single vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon from Washington State in the Columbia Valley. But I think this speaks to what's the perfect gift to bring to Christmas.
That was my next question. So I'm seeing all of these bottles look lovely. All of them really, are quite the impressive presentation. I'm assuming then this Josh on the end here, or what is this?
This is Chateau Saint Michelle Cold Creek.
Chateau Saint Michelle. So this is your top recommendation for a gift?
For the holiday season, right? And so when we look at wine production, we look at something vast, and then we narrow it down, right? We grew up knowing about Eleuthère pineapple. Eleuthère wants us to know that it's Eleuthère pineapple. If we just said the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I think Eleuthère would have a problem with that, right? It's just like saying this wine is from Washington State, but specifically from Columbia Valley, specifically from the Cold Creek Vineyard. And so they want you to know that. But that narrow end gives us a little bit more quality, a little bit more site-specific, right? And I just think this wine represents structure, right? It represents a little bit of fruit character, so the soft side of a gentleman or a female. But it also provides the softness of a wine that can sit on the side of turkeys, hams, poultry.
I was going to ask, which one of these? So, I mean, in the Bahamas, we have a little bit different of a traditional holiday meal. So what's going to work with ham and turkey, but what's going to work with crawfish and grouper and snapper as well?
So a wine that's high in acid, and for me, a wine that has carbon dioxide. So any of these lovely. So if we show up with the La Hoste, the Ayala, or the Josh Prosecco, Rosé, I think those are fantastic wines to open up the palate, as well as to sit on the side of turkey, for sure.
Okay.
To cut through that richness in macaroni and cheese that's going to show up.
Absolutely.
Right? The richness in the potato salad that's going to show up. And believe it or not, this is going to cut through the richness and the texture of the nice sauce and guava duff that we usually finish our Christmas dinner off with.
Things you never think about, but that is fantastic. Now, are any of these wines, would you say, you'd recommend for men or women in particular?
That question usually shows up, but what we are seeing is palates are becoming so diverse that, women are drinking port and 14.5% alcohol, big cabs, and men are drinking rosés and sparkling wines.
Do you think that's because people are becoming a little less rigid in terms of the stereotypes? Did men always want to have rosé, but then they weren't allowed to? They would be judged.
There was a stereotype, and I think as we become a lot more exposed and traveled, we kind of break back those barriers, right? We lose a lot when we operate inside those boxes. So for me, it's real men drink rosé.
I love to hear it. Now, in terms of these wines, are any of these, well, I see these 4 sparkling, but are any of these something that you would include in a dish that you're actually preparing for Christmas?
The red wine, although this is priced at, I think, $50 retail in Bristol's, right? I like to look at wine as an ingredient. And wine itself has thousands of flavors and aromas. And so if we look at the acid component, if we look at fruit character, if we look at bitterness and tannin inside a wine, all of those elements can take away or add to a dish. So technically, all of these can be used in cooking preparation. But when you're spending $50 on Chateau Saint Michelle, you might want to drop the price and bring in a $20 bottle to use for cooking. Likewise, on the La Hoste champagne, you might want a $15 bottle of Prosecco to bottle with in the kitchen and enjoy the La Hoste in its beauty.
Absolutely. And does Bristol have any special holiday hours this season?
I don't think we've shifted our holiday hours, but we are smack in the middle of our holiday sale. So from the 12th to the 24th, you can get some of these fantastic wines here, up to 35% off.
Wow.
Gift bags, accessories, and everything are available in all of our stores. But it's the holiday season, so don't drive past a Bristol store without stopping in. Ask somebody what is recommended. I heard there's no Prosecco, no champagne. Point me in the right direction. I really want to celebrate this holiday season.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being with us. This has been very informative. I'm sure the public is super excited. You've heard it here first. You've had a preview of the new wines for the season at Bristol, so be sure to go down and check them out. Thanks for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
With With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and family island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back. Argentina fans all across the globe are still celebrating the historic win yesterday at the FIFA World Cup 2022 finals in Qatar. It was France versus Argentina. What a match. We're here to discuss it again with Hercude, Estime, our super fan, and see if we can recover from yesterday. Hercude, welcome back to the show. And good to see you again. All smiles today, eh?
Yes, all smiles. I told you. I told you.
Yeah. You know, I concede. I know when I am wrong. I said this would have been the World Cup that a team that has never won before will win, but Messi has put his foot in my mouth, and so I concede. You were right, my friend. How does it feel?
I brought a proper attire today. Black, you know. Pay my respects to France, you know. Right. Put them to bed. So.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for Messi, you know. I'm very excited for Argentina. You know, it's been a long time coming, so.
I think it's 36 years since they last lifted the trophy. And, you know, for any fan of the sport of Argentina, you know the history of Diego Maradona.
Yes, for sure.
You know what he means to Argentina, the legend, the hand of God, all of that. And Messi always had to live up to the shadow of Maradona, even though in many discussions he's gone beyond what Maradona might have done in his whole career. But tell us, what does this win mean to Messi?
I think for Messi, it puts him at the pinnacle for sure. For sure. He's the greatest of all time.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. I mean, already people consider him the greatest, but with this trophy, it was the only thing he was missing.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And it's the perfect way to go. You know, yesterday was his last game and ever playing in the World Cup. So, what a storybook ending, you know?
Yeah, right.
This stuff we heard, we see in fairy tales and stuff like that. So, I think it's the perfect ending for him. and that's the greatest of all time.
He's the GOAT. So what about this Cristiano Ronaldo debate? You think that one going to bed?
It ends the debate. It ends the debate for sure. It ends the debate.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to entertain it no more.
Yeah. Cristiano who? We understand.
Yeah, I'm not even going to entertain it anymore.
But one of the other big superstars that really flexed his muscles yesterday was for France, Kylian Mbappe.
Oh my goodness.
And it's such a shame that there has to be only one winner. But if anybody followed the game, it started out, it was Argentina went up 2-0.
Yeah, they controlled the game very well. And then I see at the 80-something minute, 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. I'm like, this kid is different.
That was crazy.
I was like, he's different, just like that. And they had Argentina scrambling.
Yep.
They could have potentially scored a third goal, but we were able to, get our composure, and they were able to settle down. But Argentina was all over the place.
Yep. I was holding one of my babies at the time. He was sleeping on my chest, and that second goal went in from Mbappe, and I had to be like, calm down. But yeah, that was so exciting. It's one of the things about the game of football where it's so unpredictable. We always say the ball is round, and to play the full 90 minutes. If you had looked at the Argentina crowd when they're up 2-0, in the 79th minute, they were convinced they had the World Cup in
I thought they had it too, but then they got the penalty. And then after that, I see a second goal coming. He kicked it, and then Mbappe got it back. I was like, oh my goodness, he can score this. So in my room, I had to go to the front room. I had to breathe, get some fresh air. I'm like, I just need to, come on now, come on. But it was exciting though. I think the perfect ending. The storyline lived up to the hype of Mbappe versus Messi for sure. So I think you cannot ask for nothing better.
It's being dubbed as the best World Cup final of all time. And I'm going to have to agree because never have I ever watched a World Cup match live and then watch it again later that evening like it was a movie. I was up last night watching it again. I knew what was going to happen, but I was still excited.
I think that's the important thing. Like, even though, like, when you rewatch it, you still have that same feeling. So I'll tell you how great the match is. So I even post on my status, someday I'm going to tell my kids about this match,
Yes.
It's going to be etched in my memory for a long, long time to come. So.
And now, as the World Cup is over, it's been a month of excitement, a month of ups and downs and upsets. What's one of the memories from this past month of the World Cup that stands out to you, aside from the Argentina win?
When we lose the first game. And everybody's like, oh, I'm like, relax.
Calm down.
We got this. We get Messi.
Yeah, and I would say that loss of Argentina in the first round, I would say Brazil being kicked out.
Yes, that was very surprising
round.
For me.
And the teams that didn't make it through the first round, the big teams,
Germany,
Spain didn't make it through. We had the fairy tale stories of Morocco,
Japan. It was a very excellent World Cup, I must say.
Very competitive, right?
Yeah, very competitive. Very competitive.
I agree. It showcased the breadth of talent that's out there on the planet, the different tactics the teams use to play their matches, and just once again, the ball is round and anybody could win on any given day. So what do you think was the goal of the tournament?
I'm going to have to give it to Brazil.
Yeah.
That scissors kick.
Richarlison.
Yes, I'm going to have to give it to Brazil. That's, even though Edwards, he's probably going to like me saying this, but I'm going to have to give it to them,
That scissors kick was awesome.
Yes, it was great.
I would say that Mbappe's goal yesterday was close to that because, man, that volley to tie the game, I mean, they didn't win, but that was just a really pretty and well-executed goal. I think that was one of the goals of the tournament. And just overall, there's been a theme throughout the World Cup in Qatar. There's controversy surrounding Qatar being awarded the World Cup.
For sure.
There were a lot of people that were doubting how the tournament would play out, moving from a summer tournament to a winter tournament. There's been different comments here and there. What do you feel about Qatar and how they hosted and represented for the World Cup?
I mean, I honestly thought they did well. There's a lot of controversy surrounding some migrant workers there, but hopefully they compensate the families and they do well by them. But I felt as if they did a good job and they were a great host, seeing that they're the first Muslim country to actually host a World Cup. I think that's very special. So, and hopefully we could get some more Muslim countries hosting it. So.
Yep. And, Africa was well represented. Speaking of it being a Muslim country, leading up to the tournament, there was the headlines, Budweiser had to withdraw selling their beer in certain parts of the stadium. There were rules being imposed on visitors coming to the country.
I mean,
it's the country's laws.
Yeah, it's their morals, their values, and you have to respect it. I think once we respect other people's morals and values, we can get along. You understand? So, I mean, there's some controversy in there with some stuff, you know. But I'm like, that's their way of life. You can't impose your way of life on them. I mean, even though we have some Western countries that likes to do that, but. You know,
I think it proved that this is once again, soccer or football is the world's game.
Exactly. It brought everybody together, and that was the beautiful thing.
Exactly. And one of the other memories I'm thinking of is after the Japan match when they cleaned up the stadium, when they were done. They all pulled out their garbage bags and they cleaned up. And I think culturally that was one of the very impressive. I was impressed. Yeah. Other countries were impressed. And it wasn't like Japan was doing it to look away. That's just how they are as a nation. I think for those who would have attended the tournament live, those interactions with other countries, with other fans, I'm sure tons of memories. The next World Cup is going to be in the U.S. It's going to be in the Americas. It's going to be shared between U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Yes.
So I booking my ticket. Hercude, we got to be at the final. I don't care where it is. We got to be at the final. We'll be there. Maybe it'll be Argentina, Mbappe meetup once again.
Boy, I know.
We can call it. We can say it could be Argentina, France again. So as we wrap up, for those who may not have caught the World Cup, for those who have no idea what soccer is, give them the wrap up. Tell them what they missed and why they should look forward to this game.
Y'all missing exciting finals. Y'all missing exciting World Cup. I must say, very competitive. Argentina's out of winners, obviously. I didn't expect nothing less, but it certainly lived up to the hype. So. And I look forward to the next World Cup.
Yeah, and I look forward to the next sporting event, to have you on here again. It's been a pleasure the past couple of weeks.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the analysis, and we're going to do this again, right?
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Celebrate your Messi win now. Go ahead. Yeah. World Cup is done. I feel sad. I can have withdrawals. You watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You're able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
One thing, two things, blue thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
The islands of the Bahamas. Fly away.
And welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are here dead early on a marvelous Monday. So happy you can join us. We're always grateful to have you in our presence. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner.
Our new co-host. Don't forget that. New brand, celebrating
Thank you, thank you.
Congrats again, congrats again. How was the first half of the show for you?
It was great. I met up with a local sommelier, an expert, Kyle Stubbs from Bristol Wines, and he took us through, the perfect wines for your holiday meals, for your holiday gifts, and actually a $45 champagne, which I have never seen ever in my life.
Sound like my kind of budget.
There you go. How about you?
We talked about World Cup, talking about Hercude, talking about Argentina, all of the great things that happened in this World Cup series, this tournament. There's going to be withdrawals now.
I'm like, what will you do now?
I'm just going to watch all the replays for like the next week, just sit and hug my soccer ball at home.
Ah, that's okay.
And I got to find another sport to watch now. I guess I could watch basketball or American football. Well, we got an exciting second half coming up. We talking Junkanoo. Roots can be in the house. Boy, I ready to dance now. I ready to dance and sweat. I hope you all stick around with us for that.
Finally, happy to see the Junkanoo is back. We are back on our way back to Bay Street, so looking forward to that. Also, we have Maya Parker, who is here to bring us a lovely Christmas selection. But for the time being, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, we do have a cool front. Presently, Exuma, Kiel Islands, and Salvador this morning. High pressure across the northwestern islands, and that's causing some breezy conditions. A cool front in the central Bahamas will back up as a warm front. In area of low pressure, a form of that in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Move towards the northeast across Grand Bahama, Abagamir on Wednesday, creating a mess. Cloudy skies, heavy showers, thunderstorms, and gusty winds up to gale force. That should move very quickly. Then a second cool front will move here sometime on Friday, and that's going to bring in some Arctic air across the islands over the weekend. And that's a good Christmas gift for you all. In your marine forecast today, we have a caution posted. Winds north to northeast at 15-20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet over the northwest Bahamas, 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Tuesday, those winds northeast to east at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the northwest Bahamas, 15 knots, sea 2 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, those winds north to northeast at 20 to 30 knots, seas 8 to 12 feet, because we could have some gusts up to we have some gusts up to gale force, particularly over the Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini area. Over the remaining islands, those winds will be southwest to west at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet, and then south to southwest 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Yet tides. You can expect a low tide at 10:14 this morning. Next high tide will be at 4:01 this afternoon. Low again tonight at 10:14. Sunset 5:23 this evening. Rising more at 6:49. UV index 8. Your water temperature 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase last quarter. Your external look. That cold front, like I said, will move back on Tuesday. That low will form over the extreme northwest Bahamas on Wednesday with some showers and thunderstorms. So showers heavier times, thunderstorms severe times, with winds up to gale force. And then a second front moves on Friday. So ahead of that second cold front, those temperatures daytime will be in the lower 80s and the upper 60s daytime. After that front passes, we're looking at upper 60s to lower 70s daytime and your mid-50s at nighttime. That we're dropping your phone like a weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Welcome back. She's been on the show before, usually with her mom, our show producer, but today she's joining us straight off the plane to spread a little holiday cheer. Joining us today is Maya Parker, vocal performance and songwriting major at Berklee College of Music. Good morning, Maya, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. So tell us, why was Berklee School of Music your dream school?
So I went to Queens College, and the band at my school participated in this national competition that was called the Music Project.
I'm familiar.
And the prize, like if you won, was that you got to do like a summer at Berklee. And so that's how I found out about Berklee. And I remember I like looked at all the courses that they had and like the teachers and alumni, and I was like, yeah, this is where I want to go. And I thought that, you know, I would be able to get there considering Quincy's relation with them and everything, so that's why I picked up.
When did you know that music was your passion? This is what you wanted to do the most?
I couldn't think of anything else to do. Yeah, it was just like everything else would feel temporary, but music it just feels like this is the right thing to do.
Wow. That's beautiful. And of course, you have the idea of how it's going to be in your mind. But once you got there, now that you're experiencing life at Berklee, classes, the environment, is it living up to your expectations?
Definitely. I really like the city. It's nice, easy to like live in and walk around. And all the teachers and like the professors are very nice. And yeah, I've made a lot of friends, so it's been a good experience so far.
So I have to say, my husband actually went to Berklee School of Music, and he talks Boston, Boston, Boston. Loves Boston, always speaks so fondly of it. Do you think you've fallen in love with Boston since moving there?
I enjoy it. It was pretty cold, though.
Yeah. So you're happy to be home for the holidays?
Yes.
Well, we're happy to have you with us. We're happy for a special treat. And now we'll have Maya performing a special number, joined by her father, Quincy, offering us a lovely Christmas selection. So everybody, enjoy.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. And have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles the fates allow. Hang a shining star on the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Why is that song so special to you?
Well, I remember I was walking through the hallways in my dorm, and some of the rooms have this like whiteboard on the door that like people can write on. The question of like this week was, what's your favorite Christmas song? Or like what song gets you in the Christmas mood? And even though it might not be my favorite Christmas song, the first song that came to mind was this song by Michael Bublé. And I was just like, yeah, that's Christmas. So that's why I picked this one.
I am a little, I don't want to say biased. Michael Bublé's Christmas album is absolutely one of my favorites. But I have to say that I think Mariah Carey's Christmas album is my favorite of all time. Are you partial one way or the other?
Well, All I Want for Christmas Is You is like the most iconic Christmas song ever. So I think it's like equal.
Uh-huh. And now that you're home, obviously happy to be out of the Boston cold, I'm sure. Happy to be with your family. What are you looking forward to most this holiday season?
Food. Yeah, Bahamian food.
That's the one thing you can't get in Boston.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. That was a fantastic rendition. We hope to see more of you over the holidays and just in general. So thanks again for joining us. Everyone, you have somebody to watch out for, Miss Maya Parker, a rising star and a wonderful musician. Thanks for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and family island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the What do you want from a cloud solution? You want flexibility and edge? You want to modernize applications with the ability to deliver new ones with lightning speed. You want an infrastructure that's automated, secure, cost-effective, and scalable. You want to give the end user the freedom they want with the control you need. You can't get all that from just any cloud. You need something better. You need Bahamas Cloud. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Wouldn't it be satisfying to own your own piece of paradise? The most important investment you can make in your life is real estate, and Fidelity has the solution for you. You could become the owner of a home or a lot on any of our beautiful islands. Come and talk to a loan officer and inquire about how you can fund your goals with a loan today. Because we know it means a lot to own a lot. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit any of our branches, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and family island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
One thing, two things. Blue thing, all things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Welcome back. After a 2-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Boxing Day 2022 parade and the New Year's Day 2023 parade is back, everybody. Yes, Junkanoo is back. I hope you're as excited as I am. Here to talk with us this morning about their group's preparation and excitement for the parade is Kyle Stubbs, a member of the Roots organization. Roots in the house!
All day, Roots in the morning, my friend.
Kyle, you had your sommelier hat on, now you got your Junkanoo hat on.
Indeed.
Remember the PR team, you're part of the brass, and now you got your off-the-shoulder costume this year. Talk to us about the Roots organization and what was your initial reaction to hearing Junkanoo is back this year?
Pure excitement.
Yeah.
Pure excitement within the organization, inside the shack. It was a matter of figuring out what do we want to do, how we want to execute it, but also managing what the JCMP was coming with, right? Some slight changes, how we're going to roll back some rules just to make it a little bit more accommodating, knowing that a lot of groups didn't get the level of sponsorship that they're accustomed to. And so, you know, after we kind of got that information down pat, we put together that plan and we're well executing right now.
I want to know what it was like to be back in the shack for the first time. Did people have like cobwebs and they didn't know what to do? They was sticking crepe paper all over the wrong place? Or it's like riding a bicycle?
We were just having this conversation. Actually, we had a group meeting yesterday, and it was a matter of getting your blood flowing again. In the first 2 or 3 trips into the shack was just like, we back, right? It's like, what's, you know, glue, contact cement, pacing brush, crepe paper. And then it's, you know, 2 or 3 days of getting your hand into it, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm back. Right? Now we're in the middle of it, right? We're streaking costumes right now. We're putting on some feather work and that kind of stuff. So we're in full gear.
Perfect. You know, among all of the other impacts that the COVID-19 pandemic had, when we were on lockdowns and we couldn't go anywhere, is when we realized what we really lost. Junkanoo was one of those things that we really felt, because unless I am mistaken, I don't know if there was ever a point since Junkanoo had started where we didn't have both parades. Maybe that's a trivia question for somebody who's a Junkanoo god. But yeah, it was weird to not have Junkanoo, to not hear the music. And of course, I could imagine for those who participated in the shack and are in the shacks, it felt like being a fish out of water. So for the upcoming parades, tell us, what are your themes for Boxing Day and for New Year's Day for the Roots?
You just led right into it, right? What happened over the last 2 years, right? That's the pandemic. What happened the year before that in terms of a really bad storm, right? But what we have faced, I'm 37, in our lifetime has been some crises, right? And how do we endure these crises? So Roots is bringing to you on Boxing Day, heal the world. Enduring the crisis of times, right? The most prominent one would have been the pandemic and COVID-19. So we would see costumes in the Michael Jackson theme, stuff, heal the world. We'll see some music along that, right? Jesus is the answer, right? And we'll see some depictions of some of the valuable members of society that allowed us to get through the pandemic. So our registered nurses and our doctors, right? Our frontline workers. You're going to see a lot of those kind of things. But it's after 2 years of gloom and doom, right? There's a bright light of sunshine. And Roots is going to bring that on Bay Street.
It's time for a release, man.
Yeah,
We've been pent up. It's been pent up. It's time to release. So how has the group's preparation gone throughout the year? What's the typical flow in the shack for?
Yeah, so we you know, February, March is conversations about themes, production for the entire year. As you know, Labor Day kind of kicks off production inside the shack when you'll start to see some cardboard forming, some wires, cardboard being wired, some rods being bent. Practice usually kicks up in the full gear, May, June, and we take a little break in August. And then when we come back, everybody is full swing on costumes, music preparation, practice, choreograph practice from September to December. And I tell you, we get one more practice coming on Wednesday.
When's the last practice?
So Wednesday coming is our last practice. We have a nice little partnership with Bacardi. So it's Bacardi Do What Moves You Wednesday, right? So we're out there from about 8:30 p.m.
Where is it going to be?
On the top of the fort, Fort Charlotte.
Oh.
And the last lap, or the only lap this Wednesday will start at about 10:30 p.m. And that's about 70 minutes of good Junkanoo.
Oh yeah, you ready? I there now. I get goosebumps now just thinking about that.
Indeed.
I had such a withdrawal, man. I was hearing Junkanoo just riding along the street when that big truck hit the pothole. That sound like the big boom, 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 boom.
Listen, withdrawal is a serious thing, and we're seeing it full circle. You know, there's a video circling around. This young girl has to be maybe 2 or 3. She's in the backseat of the car first thing in the morning saying, "Roots in the morning." And it's just like, yeah, we've all been in this withdrawal. From 2 to however old, it's Junkanoo's back on Bay.
You know, it's a part of our lifeblood. Tell us, why is Roots the group to beat this year?
You know, we've been doing a couple of interviews here, and one word always stands up, and that's resilience. There's nobody else in Junkanoo who can attach themselves to that word. Like, we would get a 5th and come back with 50 more people than we had on Boxing Day on New Year's, right? So Roots is resilient to the fact that, hey, we have endured 2 years of no Junkanoo, trying to keep the group together, lost some members, trying to make sure that our folks were eating during the pandemic, right? Now we've put all of that energy into, we're back on Bay, we got the best builders in Junkanoo, we got the best choreograph section. I mean, we got Devon Squid Miller, who's leading our brass. We got the best music. So Roots, putting that all together, is an organization, it's a family. And then our energy is in the right place this year. I honestly think Roots we can walk with 1 and 2.
I'm just going to ask you, what are your predictions for Boxing Day and for New Year's?
If I was to put things in the context, if we have the best choreographed section, we got the best music, and nobody could see us in costume, I think we're coming out with number 1 at Boxing Day. But I'm very fair and I'm very real. Some folks can do some homework, and they're going to come back on New Year's. But we don't do our New Year's homework, so we ain't nothing to come back for on New Year's.
I love it, I love it, I love it. What's so special about Junkanoo? From a practitioner to a Bahamian's perspective, someone who just watches from the side.
It's the spirit of Junkanoo, right? I think what people are longing for this Boxing Day is to be back on the boulevard, to let the spirit take over, to dance behind your costume like you've never danced before, to scream and make noise and blow your whistle like you've never been before. But it's an acceptance and appreciation of our history, right? And then having the opportunity to display that. I think it's the actual spirit of Junkanoo is what makes it makes it special. But that's for a practitioner as well as a fan or a spectator. To understand and appreciate the spirit of Junkanoo takes us to a different level.
And you know, I'm definitely looking forward to that feeling. There's nothing like being downtown early in the morning. You could hear the bells going, you could hear the drums, you hear people, you see the drums warming up on the fire, the pallets burning, the smell of comfort, the grease in the air, like all of those things.
Everything comes together. That's all of that comes together.
Yes, and we're definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to Roots coming and putting on a show.
Indeed.
The only way that Roots knows how to do it. And
number 2 out the gate on Boxing Day.
There you go. Number 2 out the gate and say number 1 at the end, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Kyle Stubbs, thanks again for coming on the show this morning. Again. Wearing your Junkanoo hat. Looking forward to the Roots. And last practice this Wednesday, 10:30, top of the fort.
Indeed, my friend.
See you there. Thanks for joining us again. You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. Junkanoo is back. Are you ready? Let's go to Bay right now. We'll be right back.
1 thing, 2 things. Blue thing, all things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
And that's going to do it for us here on this marvelous Monday here in Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you for joining us there early. We're always happy to have you here in our presence. And we're happy to have Gabrielle join us as our new co-host. I can still clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Yay!
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm so happy to be here. This was a great first official show.
Yeah, lots of exciting things happening. Are you ready for Junkanoo now? I ain't gonna lie.
Covered the holiday gamut. We had some Christmas music, we had libations for celebrations, and of course we talked about Junkanoo. So I think we wrapped up the Bahamian Christmas.
We're getting close. We're less than a week away from the big day. So for those who got to get your shopping in, get it done. For all the Santas out there, the moms and pops and Grammies and grandpas and uncles and aunts, make sure you do your best. And it's not about the price of the gift, it's the thought that counts, especially when it comes from me, eh? So when you all get this little photo of my children, just understand it's been hard this year. Anything before we go?
That's a great gift. I was going to say, my mom always said, if you thought much of me, you would buy me a better gift. Oh. However, it is one of those years, and I think pictures of your kids are a beautiful gift. I think it's all about reminding the people you love that you love them and that they're precious to you. And honestly, because of COVID, because of all the things we've experienced, this time that we get to spend with people we love, like, that's the gift.
See that? Record that down. I can send that with my hand-drawn picture of my children. Anyway, we love you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you on Friday. Bye. You can keep your picture.